Welcome back to Classic Firearms, guys. Jason here, and I'm here with one of those special videos. I know, guess what? You guessed it. Side to what I'm talking about. But of course, here's the feature. We're talking about the Mark III Dissent chambered in 8.6 Blackout. Now, of course, 8.6 Blackout being special of what it is. Parent casing of a 6.5 crammed in with a 3.38 projectile. And of course, this has become one of our favorite calibers growing here at Classic. Of course, extra primo it being quiet. And of course, speaking about quiet, we're talking about also the DEFCAN. And of course, if you guys don't know much about this Mark III Dissent, the Dissent itself is a short action kind of captured buffer system going on, because remember, there is no traditional buffer tube, so they've actually got everything captured inside of the upper, so it does make for a great compact weapon and compact action that you can actually customize yourself. Of course, accompanied with a 1913 brace on the back, or 1913, you know, maybe if you want to go the SBR route, you could have that option, but it comes packed with options. Side charging right out the gate, so of course gets rid of that traditional action that you get back here with the traditional AR-15. But the only thing that it really shares on the AR-15 is pretty much the operating system, the direct impingement system, because this is DI gun, and also a standard LR 308-ish style lower. So that right there is definitely something to rave about. Of course, this thing is super light, super accurate, and just feels good in hand. So of course, the Mark III, I mean, they killed this thing with this design, man. They really knew how to make something that was kind of bandless, if that makes any sense. So, you know, however the brace system was going, you don't have to go that way if you don't want to. You can definitely SBR it if you want to, and this thing definitely takes the cake. Of course, again, chambered in 8.6 Blackout, of course, you know, the real true big brother to 300 Blackout, in my opinion. I mean, this thing definitely packs a punch and definitely sends it. This thing is awesome. Let's go into a deep dive on like what we've actually done. Again, you're getting the DEFCAN, right? This DEFCAN is really, really cool. It looks awesome, 3D printed titanium can to go along with the whole, you know, Mark III Dissent. And again, for looking how big this thing is, it's actually super light. So that was one of the most astonishing things that I definitely gathered from this Dissent just being in hand, right? Again, side charging is phenomenal. You've got this, you know, Magpul angled foregrip that definitely sits right there. You can get your hand there, gets a positive grip on this rifle or on this platform, and it's very phenomenal. Again, moving back, standard SR-25 mag, so all you Lancer guys can go out there, P-mags can go out there, and even straight, you know, Sten Ag mags can rock with this. Awesome. Inside of here is a special trigger. I think it's their Zero trigger, which is kind of a collaboration between them and Rise Armament to give you a very crisp trigger. I mean, this thing, the reset on this is absolutely phenomenal. Quick and sharp, just like this whole setup. Moving on back, we've got the Vortex UH-1 Huey. Now, of course, Vortex, this is the actual only other true holographic sight on the market outside of EOTech. So you've got that huge window, huge objective. It's got that crazy reticle in there for all your CQB needs and all wants and jazz. And behind the UH-1, we've got the G45 magnifier from EOTech. Of course, 5x magnifier. It's in this configuration, set up for a lefty, so that means Matt must have had his hands on it for sure. But we'll switch that around for you, obviously, or you can switch it yourself, either one. But of course, this will keep you in the fight and get you going. SB tactical brace. I mean, this thing is obviously set up in this pistol configuration to keep you well within those parameters. This thing is short, compact, and easy to maneuver. Again, super light. I think that's really one of the like namesakes for this thing. It looks like it would be super heavy, and it totally isn't. It's super light. Obviously love that. Now, once you get this thing loaded up, of course, it's gonna be a little weight if you use subs, so just bear that in mind. So obviously the CMMG Dissent is a direct impingement gun. Of course, you've got an adjustable gas block under to really tune in those supersonic or subsonic loads, which is awesome. Again, a non-traditional charging handle, so it's actually on the side, so it being side charging. It gets out of the way of the more traditional side of coming back here, which also is the actual gem of this thing. So again, we talked about that short action recoil system that's in here. It's almost like two guide rods, so it kind of resembles like an AR-18 or MCX, but still, again, left in a direct impingement and not a piston driven system. Of course, we get back to this lower, right? Again, the Mark III lower, which is more of their big bore calibers or bit larger calibers, which actually take like a 308 magazine or, you know, 6.5 magazine or anything like that. You've got this ambi lower. Again, it's not fully ambi, but you've got ambi on the things that are really necessary, especially when it comes down to like a safety selector. That's awesome and great. Again, CMMG with their small components have killed it with this. They've always killed it in that game. And of course, you've got an ambi magazine release as well. One on this side, and of course, on this side for you lefties out there, or for the folks who just like running it that way, that's awesome, an awesome feature right out the gate. Now, of course, they could have killed this with a ambi bolt catch, but of course, it just being, you know, a big bore of what it is, this thing's awesome just in itself. Of course, the SB tactical brace, again, keeps this legal for all of your pistol needs, wherever you may be, even if you're behind enemy lines. Again, folds are really compact. And of course, you can trade this out and swap it out for anything that's 1913 related, whether it be if you want to SBR it down the line or just switch to a different brace, possibly. Up to you. And of course, that compact recoil system that they've got in here, again, when we actually went to the CMMG factory, it was pretty cool to see the breakdown of how they actually came up with this. Again, this gun was pretty much born out of the necessity of evolving with the times and for it to be more commonly band proof. So this thing's awesome. So again, guys, this is what it is. Code word, blackout. Blackout sounds good because obviously 8.6 blackout coming up. I love that. Code word's blackout, and we'll see you guys later. We appreciate your business. Later.